Cthulhu Jack.
Picking up where we left off in this extended saga, we're treated with not only the crime lord of chaos making his triumphant return, after being dormant for the better part of a decade,
Are you out of your mind?
to the man of steel working now for Uncle Sam to put a pin in Batman's revival.
Well, that's bad for business.
I understand, sir.
Now, I'm not asking you to put him down. Not yet, anyway.
As well as tamping out Soviet activity on the island of Corto Maltese. I'm talking about Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, Part 2, from 2013. We open with comfort food from this two-parter as news briefs pepper in details about the Sons of Batman, which also have procured more late-night discussions.
He could at least release a clear statement against what they're doing.
The Batman doesn't exactly come out with statements to the press.
Feeling like he's been left out in the cold,
For years, it seemed like you didn't have a reason to go on.
the Joker is offered the chance by his doctor to tell his story to a wider scale.
No one wants to hear from me.
I think they'll fight for the chance to book you. I'll make some calls right now.
I'm sure this will be just fine. Flying on over to D.C., where President Reagan puts the political screws to soups.
President would deal with the situation if and when appropriate and in his own way.
A demigod's work is never truly done.
Was that him?
With the mutants from Part 1 now a dispersed gang, some turning to the Sons of Batman and others choosing to rekindle the Joker's reign.
Big shit. Kinda my nasty.
Rob and Don have acquired not only a new look,
You mutant kids go from one boss to the next. Too young to make your own decisions?
but are now following a new leader whose unforgettable assets has this Jack weaving and dodging with our own bobbing head. Bruno's a lady with an attitude and a submachine gun, with original design based on actress Brigitte Nielsen, with bats in disguise.
Tell me what Joker's planning.
Looking to put Bruno away, Bats is interrupted by Superman, who ties up this ending.
We have to talk.
I'm busy.
With mounting tensions between the US and Soviets over the island Corto Maltese,
calling American military presence in the region an act of pure fascist aggression.
All that sounds like to me is the bluster of bullies. And we don't back down from bullies.
as Commissioner Gordon hands over his reins to Ellen Yindel,
A man who shows us we can seize our city back from fear.
alongside his new flame, Sarah Essen from Batman Year One, we meet up with Bruce and Clark as they both hash out their differences.
You have to go back into retirement. You're upsetting too many people.
Their salty interaction is cut short as Superman is now engaged over the island conflict.
So don't you fret. We've got God on our side. Or the next best thing, anyway.
With Abner prepping Joker with a little poisoned lip gloss,
I could kiss you.
the game is set match as Joker appears on the popular Dave Endicron show.
I'm told you've killed about 600 people. How exactly does your side of that go?
Commissioner Yindel has the building locked down,
I thought I was Batman's psychotic obsession.
keeping Bats busy while the Joker redecorates the stage with crimson. Allowing for his henchmen to pollute this safe space with his infamous and deadly laughing gas, Bats escapes his beating with a little help from Robin. An aging Selina is confronted by a rejuvenated Joker.
The years have not been kind, have they?
He coerces her by using his mind-altering lip gloss to aid in setting up a congressman.
Hector Alejandro Noches has climbed out onto a 40th-story ledge and is demanding a full nuclear strike against Corto Maltese.
Bats is late to the jump, arriving long enough to get the skinny from a beaten Selina.
He's worse than ever.
Stepping in some cotton candy, Bats deduces that Joker is making a play at the fairgrounds. While dodging the commissioner once again, Bats arrives not a moment too soon, sticking it to Joker a little more brutally than normal.
I'm through playing Joker.
Be still my heart.
Dropping bodies as his rampage continues, Bat's patience fizzles permanently with his clown.
And they'll kill you for it.
Burning this iconic villain to the ground once and for all. Meanwhile, Robin takes out Abner and his robotic twins. As a heavily wounded Bats does his damnedest to elude the commissioner once again, the girl Wonder snatches him away not a moment too soon. On the flip side, Superman is cutting through the Soviet fleet while also manhandling a nuclear warhead.
Whether this is the first strike in a full-scale nuclear attack, and whether the U.S. has begun retaliation.
Able to deter it into space, upon its detonation explosion, it shrinky-dink Superman, sending him crashing to Earth like a shriveled raisin. The explosion causes
It's an electromagnetic pulse.
With Bat still wobbly, he and Robin pull a Lone Ranger and Tonto stunt, gathering up his sons of Batman to safeguard over Gotham as he takes the law into his own hands.
You are going to help me.
Halting mobs and looters in their tracks, with everyone finally coming together on a nuclear winter miracle.
It's high noon in Gotham City, and yet there's no sun, and it's the coldest day of the year.
Every city has fallen into anarchy except for Gotham. The president's ego is dinged by this.
He'll never let me bring him in alive.
Well, you do what you need to do.
With a stage set in Crime Alley, Bats jumps in his exosuit with his little posse consisting of Robin and a one-armed Oliver.
You're not even close to fully recovered.
Neither is he.
Superman pleads with Bruce to cease.
We don't have to do this.
Sure we do.
While Alfred lights the fuse as his own wick of life is snuffed out, Bats has one last trick up his sleeve. As Oliver appears to disperse his expertise...
It wasn't easy to make, Clark. It took years and cost a fortune. Luckily, I had both.
These once-old friends part ways by the means of the Grim Reaper.
I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
News breaks
that the world-famous billionaire was the Batman.
We're only left with a glimmer of what's to come. So, if you're looking for a 1-2 punch of a fun-filled evening, then slip on those tights and make sure your cape is fully pressed, because this classic tale is worth the jock itch. Until next time.
Isn't this a school night, young lady?
Thank you to our YouTube members and everyone out there for your continued support. And hail Cthulhu!